Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our special interviews on African startups here in the International Center of Conferences. Today, I'm happy and delighted to be joined by Dr. and Mr. Mohamed Mnif. Thank you for accepting our invite.
Thank you for your invitation, Mariam. I'm super happy to be part of this program.
So you are the founder of Dar Blockchain. And you're an expert in blockchain technology. Can you tell us a little bit more or define for those who don't know what's blockchain?
Yeah, so definitely. My name is Mohamed and I'm a CEO and co-founder of Dar Blockchain, a pioneer company established back in 2018 in Tunis. And with my co-founder Jafar, we have launched Dar Blockchain to position the Web3 hub in North Africa with the belief that based on the human resources and capacity of knowledge that we have in North Africa, we can be attracting international blockchains to our current ecosystem and to build the bridge for the local ecosystem to be connected with international blockchains. The blockchain technology, it's the technology layer of what we call the Web3. And Web3 is the natural evolution, I would say, of Internet. Internet appeared back in 2090, I think, to the mainstream in a read-only mode. Going on Internet was going to consult static pages. It was revolutionary in the direction of democratizing access to information. Few years later emerged the Web 2.0, where we, as users, we were able to read and write. And that brought all the use cases that we use today, from social networks, sending emails, interacting, ordering a cab, or the marketplaces, and all the use cases that we know today. And as much as the Web 2.0 brought a lot of solutions and democratized access to information and creating our own information, it reached its own limitations, especially with what we are currently seeing in terms of data sovereignty and the shadow banning that is happening on different platforms. So from that need emerged the Web 3.0. With the characteristics of read, write, and own your data. So, because back in Web 2.0, when you create your profile on a social network platform, it's not really your profile. The full ownership belongs to the company. They are the ones that monetize it. They are the ones that have the full rights to decide what's gonna happen within what you thought being your profile. The Web3 resolves that issue and gives the users full ownership on their data, selecting and choosing the right to access to the information, and even giving them the ability to monetize their data. This whole universe were allowed on the basis of what we call the blockchain technology. And in simple words, it's a technology of a decentralized ledger of who owns what. So it's a distributed ledger that instead of being centralized within a central authority, each user has its own copy. And the truth is established based on a consortium between these users. So it's a technology that records in a decentralized, transparent, and secured way every type of transactions. It can be sending informations, it can be sending value, and that resolved a previous issue within the internet of what we were calling the double spending issue, when we used to send an email. For example, you can send a copy of this same email to multiple people because it's digital by definition. The blockchain technology allowed the unicity of data through the tokenization, and let's try not to go technical, but I will try through this interview to explain what is the blockchain, what are the main use cases, and how that can benefit for the society and the economy, and it's really an opportunity.
Come into that right now. So we've been trying to define what blockchain, but how do you see the role of blockchain in emerging companies contributing to economic renaissance and to perhaps reducing poverty in our continent?
By definition, the blockchain technology is a decentralized, transparent, and secured technology. And I believe it's a huge opportunity for emerging countries to achieve to achieve a leapfrog. Means we already have several years or maybe decades of latency comparing to what happened in Silicon Valley back in 2000 or later. And within the Web3, the emerging countries have today the opportunity to leapfrog technology to position their own topics, use cases, applications, and to move that directly and immediately toward what we believe within the Web3 community that's going to be the new normal. Because if we were accepting that companies take rates up to 100% for companies like Meta, 45% for companies like YouTube, this should change. And I believe it's going to be a natural human evolution towards a decentralized and transparent model, and it creates not only a lot of opportunities, job opportunities and economic opportunities to the emerging countries and their citizens, but also to be pioneer in that industry, because it's much easier to build on top of an existent infrastructure than to renovate something that already exists.
Next, can you share specific examples of how blockchain technology has been utilized in emerging companies to address economic challenges in the African context? Is there any specific example that showcases how blockchain is helpful with these challenges?
To build on top of what I was saying, I would say the most exciting and most successful use cases around the Web3 that use the blockchain technology are happening in emerging countries, because the value is just huge to people that are, for example, unbanked. We can all agree about the high rate of unbanked people within the African continent. By unbanked, we don't only mean people that don't have bank account, but people that don't even have the right to open a bank account. Hence, therefore, they are excluded from the financial system and from the loans, to have a loan, to start a business, to start getting
social life.
From the social and economic life. And with the blockchain technology, anyone can open a wallet that is backed and start receiving money and getting paid with a currency that is backed by the US dollar, which for someone who is living in the African continent would not even dream to open a foreign account. So there is millions of Africans that today, for free, of course, they open their wallets and start exchanging currencies. They start being paid for freelancing, receiving money also from their family members that are living abroad. You understand that today companies, remittance companies, can take up to 12% of the money that is sent from the diaspora to their family members. And it's funny to notice that the amount of money that is sent by the diaspora is the first source of foreign currency to the African continent. It's not aid, it's not exportation. Millions of families live on top of what their family members living in Europe, in the US, or in other countries are sending them in a very regular way. Take a cut of 12% on 100 euros, that's a lot of money for the family. And using cryptocurrencies and stable coins.
Talking about cryptocurrency and exchanging value and money with these new technologies, how safe is it to use these new technologies and cryptocurrencies?
Let's define the word safe first, because in terms of technology, it's the safest technology that can exist today because of its decentralized nature. So let's understand that any centralized database or system was to a certain point subject to a lot of hacks.
Yeah.
Blockchain technology and databases, considering their decentralized nature, cannot be hacked unless the hacker is willing to manipulate and hack 51% of the laptops and databases that saved a copy of the record of transactions. So through security, safety, it's much more safer. Now, when it comes to education, when it comes to understanding what are the risks that can be related to trade with cryptocurrencies or to be paid using that, of course, there is a huge work that needs to be done in terms of education and regulation as well. Regulation, of course,
it's really important.
I would say to guarantee a certain safety to the user.
There has to be limits, even if it's technology and it's innovative. I guess that regulation has its job.
I would say that regulation is here not to necessarily to put limits, because we cannot create limits to a technology. Like, technology is here to improve, to increase, to advance, but of course to regulate, to increase awareness and education. And there, it can be considered as a bit risky if the user is not aware of all the risks that can be related to trading cryptocurrencies, for example, to sending your key to someone that you don't know or you don't trust, or actually you should not be sending your wallet, to checking spam emails and like phishing emails and stuff like that. So of course there is certain risks that can be related both from a technology perspective, through hacking and so on, to buying a crypto that is backed by a project that will no longer exist. And here there is a huge work, and it's part of our job, the enthusiasts and the ones that were in the blockchain industry, to increase the trust and contribute to educating users.
Educating generations or our generation to understand the very essence and not to be trapped into
and again, crypto is part of the is a consequences of the blockchain technology, and the blockchain technology is also consequences.
They're related.
They are directly related. They're different, but directly related. Blockchain as a technology can be implemented for decentralizing databases, for securing the system. Crypto and tokenomics is a full different, it's a different topic that has a lot of value. Toward the economic, to secure the economic growth of many communities and to empower the emerging countries, and we can talk about that later.
So, considering the digital gap in Africa, going back to our continent, how can emerging companies, particularly those involved in blockchain, play a role in reducing the digital gap? We know that in many regions of our continent, many people don't have access to technology.
Yeah, definitely. Within our continent, many people don't even have access to electricity. they are not numbers, and when we talk about hundreds of millions of people that don't have access to electricity, that means they are totally deprived and excluded from the economic process. And the blockchain technology can allow disruptive solutions to give access to distributed electricity or to empower local communities to increase the trust and to give the right value, because by nature the blockchain technology is here to eliminate intermediary persons, and the whole current business model and technology solutions that we are using today are articulated or even over-articulated about the need for a central authority or intermediaries that their take rates is super high, and the money doesn't necessarily go to the main person to the agriculture that produced the food, to the main service provider, and so on. And deploying technologies or solutions that uses the blockchain technology or a distributed way, that in a way that eliminates this intermediary, increases the benefit to the ones that are really worth and deserve to be to meet their needs.
From your perspective and as a blockchain expert, what are key advantages of utilizing technology, including blockchain, through emerging companies to provide basic services? You just mentioned services here in our region, of course.
Yeah, the technology has a lot of deploying technology has a lot of advantages, from scalability with a very low marginal cost, because once you develop a solution, the cost of replicating the same solution is very low. Hence, it increases the benefit and can to local communities in a way that replicates these solutions. So I'm a highly believer that technology is not the only way, for sure. A lot needs to be done to tackle climate change issues, for example, financial inclusion, and so on, human rights issues within the African communities. But the technology is necessarily and we can leverage the power of new technologies to go faster and to reach local communities. When it comes to the blockchain technology, it's by nature, again, decentralized, transparent, and secured technology. And we can take these three advantages. Transparency increase the trust, and trust empower economy. The transparency also, like deploying more transparency in the whole value chain, will motivate people to get involved and start entrepreneurship in their countries. When it comes to security, of course, it increases also the trust level and have a lot of advantages to economy. And deploying a decentralized architecture, not only for the technology layer, but also to the business models, will reduce the amount that is being taken by intermediaries and make it benefit to the ones that deserve to have that. When it comes to the economic opportunities also that exist today within the Web3 universe, I would again emphasize the importance of education and creating job opportunities. Thousands and millions, maybe in the next few years, of jobs will be created within to build this whole universe of Web3 applications, and within short curriculum or period of time to adapt not only IT developers, but also people that works in marketing, in the different in business, on the business side. A lot of jobs are being created and will be created within the Web3 industry, and this is a huge economical opportunity to the African continent and its youth.
So since we're running out of time, I'd love you to conclude with a piece of advice for the young generation who want to get started, to know about blockchain and these new technologies. A last advice, perhaps.
I would say start doing it. Start doing it. It's happening anyway. Like the status quo cannot last as it is today. Life is made about change, and the change is happening, and we are moving from Web 2 to Web 3 industry. Start learning, educating yourself. It's the best investment that anyone can do is to learn something new and to allow yourself to make mistakes, to learn and to build on top of that.
Thank you very much for these beautiful insights, and on this we can wrap up this interview. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mariam.
Thank you, Mohamed, and thank you, dear viewers, for following this beautiful and insightful interview with Mohamed Mnif, and see you next time.